epiphenomenalist dualism. The basic idea is that physical events happening in your brain, neurons firing, cause your mental states, your thoughts, your feelings, your desires. But here's the crazy twist. Those mental states themselves have zero power to cause anything else. They're just byproducts. Think of them like smoke from a fire. The smoke is real, but it can't change the flames.
A really great way to picture this is with the classic steam engine analogy. So imagine your brain is the engine. It's this big, physical machine that's doing all the actual work. Your consciousness, with all its vivid feelings and thoughts, is like the steam and the noise that the engine makes. The noise is definitely real, you can hear it, but it has absolutely no power to make the train go faster or to steer it. It's just a side effect of the real work being done by the machine.
The big appeal here is that it preserves something called the causal closure of the physical. Basically, science has worked for centuries on one core idea. If you want to explain a physical event, like a planet moving or a neuron firing, you only need to look for other physical causes. If something non-physical, like a thought, could just suddenly reach in and change the physical world, it would break that fundamental rule. This theory neatly sidesteps that whole problem.
So what epiphenomenalism is really trying to do is solve this huge conflict. On one side, you've got the closed system of physics, where physical stuff causes other physical stuff. On the other, you have the undeniable reality of our own conscious experiences, which don't feel physical. This theory is a clever way to have both. It says, sure, physics is totally right about what causes things, but maybe it's not the whole story about everything that exists.
But of course, there is a massive objection to all this. Our entire lived experience, what philosophers call the phenomenology of our mental life, it just screams that our mind is in the driver's seat. It feels like our feeling of hunger is what causes us to go to the fridge. It feels like our desire to talk is what causes the words to come out of our mouths.
I mean, the evidence against this theory seems overwhelming, right? We have our direct, constant, moment-to-moment experience that our thoughts cause our actions. And this isn't just a vague feeling. Modern neuroscience shows these incredibly tight correlations between mental events, like deciding to do something, and the specific brain activity that then kicks off the physical action. So if the mind really does nothing, why is it so perfectly linked to the brain's activity?
The comeback is basically this. Yes, you absolutely have that feeling of your mind causing your actions. But that feeling? It's a powerful illusion. And it's not just a random illusion either. It's a predictable one, and it's created by something called a common cause.
So here's how that works. Let's go right back to touching that hot stove. A purely physical process, a whole cascade of nerve signals and neural firings happens in your brain. Now, according to the theory, this one single physical event produces two separate effects at the exact same time. It causes effect A, the non-physical conscious feeling of ouch, that hurts, and it causes effect B, the physical behavior of wincing and pulling your hand back.
You see, the arrow of causation doesn't actually go from the feeling of pain over to the action of wincing. The theory claims that a single underlying physical brain state is the hidden common cause of both. And because the feeling and the action always happen together, we mistakenly draw a line between them. But in reality, they're just two separate effects popping out of that one physical cause.
Let's just recap this core conflict. The challenge, from our own experience and from neuroscience, is incredibly powerful. It just feels like our mind is in charge. But the defense is also pretty strong. It points out that just because two things are correlated, the feeling and the action, that doesn't prove one causes the other. The common cause explanation is a perfectly logical, if weird, alternative.
And in the end, this whole theory forces us to confront a really difficult truth. Our intuition can be flat out wrong. Science is just full of ideas that are deeply counterintuitive, like the fact that the Earth is hurtling through space or the bizarre rules of quantum mechanics. So simply saying this theory feels wrong just isn't enough to dismiss it out of hand.